Let's talk about the Pixel 4a, this amazing phone. I like this phone. The Pixel packs a lot of different things that really make me happy, and as a former Pixel 3a user, I fell in love with it. Let me tell you some of the important things about this phone. The Pixel 4a comes with an 18-watt USB-C to C charging brick and has a 3140 mAh battery. Not the biggest, but it does pack a lot of power due to optimization in Android. I appreciate the battery life of the Pixel as it continues to get me through a full day of use, and thanks to its fast charger, charging up can only be about 20 minutes and guarantee you almost half a day or more worth of use. And thanks to adaptive battery, it gets even better. So that 3140 mAh battery helps drag you through the day and gets you through your basic uses. I got through most of my astrophotography, regular photography, phone calls, and general daily use, and I found myself perfectly content with it. The Pixel 4a has a 5.8-inch OLED screen with a hole punch for its 8-megapixel front-facing camera. It has an FHD Plus rated screen with 443 pixels per inch. And it has a 5:9 aspect ratio with an always-on display, HDR support, which allows for true black level colors and allowing for people to see really great colors in content watching. I found this to be a great content consuming device, and I used it for many different movies while my testing was going on. So it truly provided a great experience and allowed me to watch different things and gave me a really beautiful sense of what this phone was going to be. It really just showed that Pixels were stepping up even in their low-range and mid-range phones, truly providing great experiences for consumers in general. I think that this is a beautiful part, having HDR support on phones and giving us the ability to consume content while we sit at home, especially during quarantine. The Pixel 4a has a Qualcomm Snapdragon 730G and an Adreno 618 graphics processor on board, as well as 6 gigs of LPDDR4X RAM and 128 gigs of storage, which is perfect for storing all your photos, games, apps, and more on the Pixel, giving you plenty of room and plenty of space to work on your phone for the daily. The Pixel 4a comes with an 8-megapixel front camera and a 12.2 megapixel rear. But even though that may not sound good compared to the rest of the flagship market that's going on these days, the Pixel 4a still delivers excellent photos thanks to its software. The Google processing that actually allows for photos to be amazingly crisp and well designed, putting out pictures that most cameras could only hope to put out. And it doesn't just stop at daytime photos, it also continues to their astrophotography. Google Pixel worked very hard to create this astrophotography mode in their night sight suite in their camera app. This allows for people to take beautiful pictures. I have a few here that were from a few nights ago where we saw the actual galaxy from our backyard thanks to the Google Pixel 4a. Now, I had the Google Pixel 3a and it took amazing astrophotography shots as well, but thanks to Google software, they've allowed for the Pixel 4a to sit for 4 minutes compared to the Pixel 3a's 1 minute. This provided a great exposure and created vivid, star-filled pictures that blew me away and showed things I didn't even think were there. Astrophotography is not the phone's only strong suit, though. Here are some pictures from the Pixel 4a in regular daylight conditions of some flowers and some general day use that I was using. You can tell that this phone takes extra care in putting together its photos. Truly genius and truly allowing for Pixel to reign supreme in its photography market. The fact is, you buy a Pixel phone for its update support, its OS, and for its camera. Its photography is phenomenal, and I recommend it to anybody who's looking to get into photography on the cheap, as this phone gives you a lot of functionality while staying under the price of most common DSLRs that are considered to be as good or equal to this phone. Definitely, it's something to consider for photographers. Overall, I would say this phone shows that Google is ready to dominate the mid-range scene, and that's where they should stick. Their last release of the Pixel 4 was a flop in the consideration of most people in the tech community. it didn't work so well because of its price. But thanks to the affordability and price of the Pixel 4a, starting at only $350 and staying there because that's the only budget option they have. They don't have any model differences. They don't have any colored variations. It gives you a simple no choice. That's the thing, is that I was going into this expecting that Pixels would be in different colors. My original Pixel 3a came in the choice of, I don't remember the exact ones, but they had just black and different variations of white with an offset of a different color. I had purple-ish. And I thought that was a neat concept at the time, but I didn't really understand it. But with this, it shows you that the Pixels are becoming the mid-range with less options, but with a camera this good, an operating system and software from Google that provides second to none, why would you even want to switch over to something that had just more color options? This thing gives you all you need, and it doesn't give you much variation because choice kills phones. It kills phone companies when making phones. They can't make different variations because that puts more overhead into their production costs. And it also just kills the creativity. Because of the lack of money they'll be able to make from these phones, with the variations that they have, this is the simple choice for someone who wants a mid-range phone and the uncompromising software from Google. With the Pixel's amazing overall system, I wholeheartedly recommend this phone to anybody who's looking to stay in the Android ecosystem, or even if you're comfortable leaving the Apple ecosystem and taking a cheaper option, which I understand a lot of iOS users are not comfortable doing. But this could be the switch with its one-touch navigation that actually it reminds me extremely of Apple's more recent one-touch nav, and is a really good way for Google to try to drag some of their users from the iOS platform to their own platform. So, if you're considering buying this phone, I would say there's no better time than now. And with the trade-in program from Google that allows you to trade into phones up to about almost $200, it could actually be a grand decision maker to allow you to work on moving forward and actually getting a camera and a phone that run fantastically, marvelously, and for a cheap price that won't break your bank or break your heart. Some of the flagships that we see being released today are heartbreaking at their price cores, and we can't continue to push that way. That's why these mid-range phones that are pushing like this, the OnePlus Nord, and even the iPhone SE, which does perform very well for a cheap, almost $399 iPhone. Crazy that we're getting into a year where budget phones are king. And it makes sense as our, global financial system is in an unstable and shaky zone. These are the phones that will dominate the pockets of the people for the next year and a half, I guarantee it. And that's why I wholeheartedly endorse this phone as one of the best mid-range, and if not one of the best phones of 2020.